Welcome to the realm of intoxicating flavors and head-banging beer reviews.
Welcome to another episode of the Rare Beer Club. I'm your host, the Ginger Yeti, and if you're new to the channel, the Rare Beer Club is a subscription service I get, a subscription club put out by the beerofthemonthclub.com. I receive a box every month, contains 2 hand-selected bottles. They're always bombers like this. Costs about $60. And then I unbox the beers and I review one blind and then review one at the later date. So this came out of one of those boxes. This is an amazing beer worthy of the Rare Beer Club. This is the Oud Beersel Oude Geuze Vieille 2014. So yes, this beer is from 2014. It says it's good till 2034. Now, if you've watched my channel for a while, you know I reviewed something very similar. Quite a while ago, I reviewed the Oude Geuze Vieille from the same brewery, Oud Beersel, and it was also a 2014. So it's really cool to see this beer. It's now 11 years old. Really excited to get into it. Now, these beers, it's a Belgian ale. I don't know what that gold thing says. Can't read what that gold star is on the bottom. If I can figure it out, I'll post it down below. Oude Geuze. This is a Geuze ale is a classic. I can't even read the back of this bottle. It's this weird reflective gold. Lambic. Classic Lambic. Classic Lambic, the Belgian ales. Following... Yeah, it's just so hard to read the back of this. Just because that gold is reflective. It's tiny microprint on black. Like I said, best before November 18th of 2034. Product of Belgium. Like I said, this is a Lambic. Now, if you'd like to learn more about Lambic specifically, just like the generic Lambic beer, there's a gentleman out there, the Merry Drinker. I'll link his video down below. He did a video all about Lambic beers. Really, really well done video about Lambics. If you'd like to learn more about them, highly suggest you go watch his video. But we're going to talk about this specific Lambic beer here. Rare Beer Club always comes with this paperwork. Gives you a lot of history about the brewery, the beer. Gives you some tasting notes. Tells you this is an Oude Geuze. It's 6% alcohol. Serving temperature 46 to 54 degrees Fahrenheit. Suggested glassware, Lambic tumbler, which I've never even seen a Lambic tumbler. Flute or tulip glass. Special instructions. Pour gently to avoid rousing yeast. So no hard pouring. This is a beer you do not hard pour. So I'm going to read a little bit about this here. And if you want to read the full paperwork, I always post it up on Twitter and post a link down below in the description. The historical Oud Beersel, located about 6 miles from the city center of Brussels, is one of the last remaining authentic Lambic breweries in Belgium. The brewery first started way back in 1882, passing through multiple family generations before almost meeting its end in 2002. Today, the brewery is one of the few to still be employing spontaneous fermentation in this classic brewing region, maturing Lambic for up to 3 years in barrels, which can in turn be blended to go into the brewery's classic Oude Geuze. For the brewery's Oude Geuze, sour cherries go through a primary fermentation in Lambic as well as re-fermentation in the bottle. So that'd be that beer I showed you earlier that I did a review on. I'll also link that video down below if you want to check out that video after this one. The local microflora in the air gives these beers their unique fermentation characteristics. And quite simply, the Lambics and Geuzes of Belgium are some of the most expressive, out there, delicious beers on the planet. I do tend to agree. We're very grateful to have this Lambic producer still around, as am I. Because every beer I've had from this brewery has been just phenomenal, just top-notch, outstanding. So on to the beer here. Oude Geuze Vieille 2014. Oud Beersel's 2014 Oude Geuze is a spontaneously fermented traditional Lambic beer that's brewed with just water, barley malt, wheat, and hops. They don't even add yeast. So if you're not familiar with the open fermentation, they just let it sit out and let whatever yeast is floating around in the air ferment the beer. This blended Lambic combines Lambic beers from different years, aged in wooden barrels, and blends younger and older lambics to create an exceptionally balanced Oude Geuze release. The 2014 vintage has been drinking perfectly for a few years now, and it continues to do so with an easy drinking poise that remains hugely expressive at the same time. So before I pour this, there's a little note. I don't know where the note went. But like I said, it says to pour it slowly because you don't want to really stir up the yeast. So let's get this open here. Try not to shoot my eye out. Although I am in the home of the Christmas Story house, it would be a shame if I did that. Get this cage off of here. See how well I can open this cork. This is one of those beers that I would love to share with some friends, but don't have any friends around. Well, that was unexpected and no idea where that went. That shot off real quick. A lot of gun smoke there. The head is starting to creep up the bottle a little bit, but not super fast. I can already smell that. I mean, that smells like a goose. Like it's earthy and sour and just smells delectable. So I'll pour it in a glass here and then we'll read some more about it. This pours a bright golden color with an amber tinge, with the pores getting slightly darker as one proceeds through the bottle. Pour notes, there they are. We'd suggest pouring this gently for the best result. Rousing the yeast in later pours made them a little less assertive for us. Try not to rouse the yeast too much, although I do think I knocked this over about an hour ago. Hope I didn't rouse the yeast too much. Where was I? Off-white foam with modest retention, yeah. Huge, generous, smooth aromatics from the start. Aromatics were definitely huge. Leading the bold, lemony citrus and subtle funk. Funk is not subtle. That is funky. That is definitely a funky smell. And a very light, apparent salinity. Yeah, you do kind of get a little bit of salinity on the nose. It is mouth-watering for sure. Mouth-watering, fruity throughout with a very subtle impact of herbaceous hops still present. This shows all the hallmarks of an exceptional goose with hugely complex fermentation and no rough edges. I don't know about herbaceous hops, but that is funky, very funky, a little bit of citrus. You do get a little bit of that salinity, and it's a beautiful looking beer. Nice carbonation there. It did have that head that dissipated pretty quickly, left a lot of sediment or whatever you want to call it around the glass. Not really legs or sheets, but just coats the glass. If I pulled out my SRM chart, I'd probably give this about a 8 on the SRM. And I'm ready to dive in and see what the flavors are like. So it says there's a firm impact of lemony acidity and tartness from the start. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Lemony acidity and tartness for sure. Offering an expected bold impact of goose. This is a nicely aged example that's just so easy to dig into. With that first sip, still all the citrusy salt, funky complexity we'd hoped for. Yeah, that is funky. A little bit of citrus, like horse blanket funky. And you do get like a little hint of salt there. The beer feels like the kind of lambic that an entire village could get into, rather than something for folks who are looking for that jaw-clenching impact of some of the more aggressive lambics, which is more like that Oude Geuze Vieille, top-notch beer. But that was much more profound, much stronger flavor than this. Vibrant carbonation, absolutely. Everything providing an effervescent lift. Spontaneous ferment gives this layers of citrus and complex acidity. Subtle notes of vanilla and almond. Maybe a little bit of almond, like the almond flavor you get off an almond tort. Espresso lambic that's aged beautifully, easy drinking, endlessly satisfying. Yes, I mean, this is a phenomenal beer. Excellent. It's citrusy, funky, little bit of horse blanket funk, tinge of saltiness, but nothing's super overpowering. You get some nice acidity and tartness to it, but none of these flavors are super overpowering. It's not like you drink this and, what is this? It's actually really well balanced, and would be a good beer for somebody's first goose, maybe even a good beer for somebody's first Lambic style beer, because everything's there, everything's nice, but it's not over the top. It's kind of mellow, but it's flavorful and just really, really nice. This is an easy drinking beer. I can drink this bottle with no problem. Glad I don't have anybody to share it with, because I'm going to enjoy this all to myself. This beer right here is 2 big horns up. Excellent beer. Super stoked to be able to have a 2014 vintage. Opened it up. Didn't shoot my eye out with that cork. I did not expect that cork to just pop like that. That flew, I don't know where. Probably never see that again. That's why you don't point those corks at your face. So did you enjoy my current video from the Rare Beer Club? If you did, let me know down below. Anything you suggest I could do differently with it? I'd love to find out, because I hope everybody watches to the end. And as always, embrace the adventure.